Have you ever felt like you were alone and you didn't know how to get through something? I've been there many a times and I'm still there a little bit today, right? As we navigate through life, we wind up experiencing different things. And so I always reach out to somebody I think that has gone through it or are going through something for the simple fact that if I didn't do it in the past, I probably wouldn't be here today. In fact, you and I could both say that I wouldn't be here today as far as doing the podcast and whatever else I'm doing, right? I went down that path where I didn't know who to turn to. So I reached out to a men's group, right? And so some of you might know the story. You can go listen to some of the episodes I already did, where I reached out to a men's group. They helped me guide through the situation I was going through, where I couldn't understand what was going on at home. Behaviors were changing, and ultimately led to divorce. That allowed me to find a way that I was able to reach out to strangers and not just, friends and family that I know, right? So these strangers already had a mission and a purpose to push you through and help guide you get through the problems you were going through. And I wanted to bring this up again today because I just attended a men's group at my church. And this is based off of a book that's out there, and it's around masculinity within the Bible and verses and all this stuff. So, we were able to sit down and talk for about 2 hours within, the group of the table that I was at. Right. So things went back and forth. We got to learn more about the word of God and how, how everything relates to what we are doing in life now, right? And it was focused on men and, masculinity and stuff. That's what this is all about at the moment. I took on this because I was curious to learn more about the word of God and what it's doing and shows for men to stand up and to have God, faith be first, right? And then everything else comes along. So I went there. I shared my journey with the people at the table because there was a question and I'm like, I say it anyways. I might as well just say it here too. Um, but I sat there for most of the time asking questions, you know, trying to understand what everybody else understood from reading the Bible and how it related to the course we were going through. I I reached out to a group, a community of some sort that will help me go down that path, right? And so here I have a deeper connection with learning what this is going to be about, right? And so I think this is for several weeks, but I'm curious to see how it plays out. I'm curious to learn more as I keep on going. It's different, right? And so we get out of our comfort zone and what a game changer that makes, right? I just got back from Austin, Texas, had a great trip with my girlfriend, and we were able to go to this event where I was speaking, able to meet new people, able to talk, learn, connect with them, right? And so while I can help serve others, that's what I try to do. I'm also curious to know how they can serve me and others as well, because I might be able to help somebody else I already know that might need their help, not particularly me. And that was an eye opener too. Just being in a different room, different people I see on Facebook, right? I was able to meet willy nilly, you know what I mean? He was on my podcast over a year ago and I got to meet him in person. Um, Great guy, I'd go check out his episode. Maybe I'll get him back on and stuff. And he's helping people with relationships, right? And so while I discuss something like that, and I would love to help people, but he might be the best one to reach out to, right? So this Austin event was fun, and we were able to come home with people their contacts and stuff like that. So, for example, you'll find out some of them will be coming on the podcast because they have a journey of their own. I was able to listen to them speak and hear parts of their journey. And so that gets me intrigued and interested. And I think other people can benefit from that. So they weren't necessarily in the same room to listen, but now they'll be able to listen on the podcast. Again, another community, another event I went to, another thing of getting out of my comfort zone. Uh, when the host reached out to me last year, I said, "Sure, why not? Let's see what happens." Right. And so, I was selected to be one of the ones speaking and, ultimately went. And for me, it was so rewarding just not to only be in a different place, but be around the people in the room and not just the speakers, but the people listening, the people that paid to be there, the people that were supporting the other people. Maybe those people, maybe you needed to be there to hear how somebody else got through something because you haven't shared with anybody what you're going through or what you have gone through and you still can't fix that problem, right? And just think like I created this podcast, Life's Checkmark, for the simple fact of hearing other people's journeys. And I pray that it reaches the people all over the world that know they can just listen to somebody else, reach out to them. Like it's not going to hurt to email or text them or whatever that contact information is. Just say, "Hey, I appreciate listening to you. You helped me along the way here, listening to your episode, and I loved what you did. How can I get help?" Or maybe they want to be a guest, right? So creating this platform gives me a chance, an opportunity to spread the word of what other people have gone through. And I am so thankful and so grateful to God for leading me in this direction, not knowing the path I was going to take to get to where I am, not knowing what the path is going to be like from now and the future, even though I have an idea, I have a plan, I have a goal for where I want to take things, but still not really knowing how I'm going to get there, right? We always look at things when we're going through some rough times, right? You're at rock bottom, and you got to climb up or swim up or whatever that looks like. And so you have your mountains, your valleys, and zigzags, and all this and stuff. So take the messy line that you have, whatever it looks like to you in your head, on a piece of paper, and I am willing to bet if you took that endpoint from your problem to the future that you're looking ahead, and no matter what the zigzag is, you take that endpoint from the beginning there and you pull and you stretch it all the way out. Stretch it till it can't stretch no more. What's that gonna do? It's gonna make that zigzag, that mountains, those valleys, it's gonna make it a straight line. Now, you're gonna see that that straight line is a long time because it's not the valleys and the stuff, so it's not compressed as much, right? Even though you're going up and down and zigzagging or whatever. It's a long time. So you have to be on the right path. You have to know that within the right time, God's time, you will get there. You will get where you're supposed to be, right? So look at it this way. If I could share an example with just the podcast, I started with no audience, not looking to monetize it. And I told myself, would I do this if nobody was going to listen to it? What benefit would that be? One, it would be the benefit for me as a host. I get to hear journeys and I can reach out to them and connect with the guests. And, two, the guests would get to know me, right? And who knows where that connection could go. And this is just if nobody listened. But what happened? People listened. People are listening and people are getting tuned in more and more. It just so happens I found something where I'm listed number 19, the podcast, for uh, Life Stories podcast, number 19, ranked number 19 in that category. And like, what a reward that is. Again, not looking for it, but it gets me to go, okay, I started somewhere, not knowing where I was going to go. And now I see this. And I'm like, how much further can I take this? Well, I've taken it so much further, right? For those that follow me, for those that have been guests, I'm trying to take this as much farther as I can. So if you're watching the video, you can see my book over here to the left. It's Life's Checkmark, and it's going to be about journeys, right? People that have been guests on the podcast are authors now, and they're going to write a part of their journey that was not shared on the podcast. So now that you can read it and you can watch and you can listen to the podcast then. So I'm trying to expand this, get it in people's hands if they're not listening or they're not into the video, right? And maybe they'll get into that part if they enjoy reading the part in the book of the chapter that these authors are writing. But I never had this thought. Like this, I wasn't thinking about doing the book in the beginning. I thought about doing one a year into it. It didn't happen. But now I'm like 3 years and a couple months. And, when I was starting to be in some anthologies, it just clicked, right? And what a great way for me to bring my guests together. So I saw this mess, this zigzag, this line, going all over the place. It was just crazy. And the valleys and stuff like, editing, doing different AI stuff or, you know, rescheduling with some guests, whatever that is for the podcast. It's a crazy line just in the podcast area, right? But if I stretched it out from day one to where I want to keep going, I already reached that goal that I had no idea I had created a goal as far as, let's just say, the book, right? Or getting ranked number 19 in a category. I didn't know. Now, to me, that's a checkpoint, right? It's not my check mark. It's my checkpoint. My check mark is when I complete exactly what I want to complete at the very, very end. That's what my check mark is, right? And I could check it off. This book comes out, I could check it off. Doesn't mean it's going to be the last one. I'm telling you now, it's not the last one because I have some amazing guests that want to come in and be part of the other one. But whatever problems you are having in your life now, in the past, in the future, you're going to get through it. That line could be as crazy as you can draw it and imagine it. And God is going to sit there and he's going to guide you in the right direction, even if it does not make sense. I'm telling you, half the stuff I've been doing does not make sense, but it's getting me there. It's allowing me to expand and open up. It's allowed me to connect with other communities. It's allowed me to create the Podcasters Hub, another community, right? I love podcasting. I am only one podcaster. I can't take everybody on. I can't help the world by myself. So let's come together. Podcasters, aspiring podcasters, come together, be part of the Podcasters Hub and learn and connect and grow and share. And let's just keep going, right? Why did I create that? Because most podcasters quit. They stop after episode 3, 90% after episode 3. 345,000 posted one new episode in 90 days. 345,000 of the podcasts that are out there out of 4.2 million. Guys, the opportunities are endless. Like, podcasting is amazing. It opens up a whole new network. And that's why I created the hub. I created the hub for the simple fact of bringing people together with like-minded. Like, we're on a mission to change the world. W I don't care what your podcast is about. If it's about jokes, music, right? You're changing the world in some way. The obstacle is just to keep going forward. So if you're interested in something like that, check it out. I'll have the link to go be, 7-day trial. There's 2 tiers to it. I'd love to have you just check it out and say, "Hey, I'm interested in starting a podcast. I have a podcast. Let's connect. Let's grow." But for me, like the communities that I've reached out to, the events I've been to has allowed me to grow as a person. And I encourage you to work in one area in your life and grow. What is that? What area? I want you to ask yourself this question. What area in my life do I need to focus on right now? Got it? What is it? And what are you going to do about it? Are you going to reach out to somebody? Are you going to listen to a podcast episode? Are you going to go attend a conference? Even if you attended the conference, you'd sit in the back room if you wanted to and just take notes and listen, right? Be there. Get in the rooms with people. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do about it? You wanted to change. You wanted to make a change right now. You're like, I am so tired of going through this stuff. Make that change. I want you to do it right now. Don't wait till tomorrow. Do it now because now is what's more important. The present is more important. That's what's going to change the future and it's going to push the past away. Focus on now. I pray to whoever is watching, listening, that you find that right path, that answer to that question. What am I going to do now to make this change? Because I am sick and tired of going through what I'm going through. Right. And I'll put my hand up. You're more than welcome to reach out to me. And if it's not me that can help, it's going to be somebody else. And if I know that person, I would definitely connect you with them. So don't ever be afraid to reach out. Don't ever be afraid to comment, leave a like, whatever that is to you. If you're watching me, listening to me, this is what it's all about. I'm here to be part of the process to change the world. It might be a small fragment to some people's eyes, but it's huge to me. And the book alone, it's 16, 17 authors in there. It's awesome. These are phenomenal people that want to do the same thing. They saw the vision and they jumped in. I am so grateful for that. I am so grateful for where I am today. I, I am I am so thankful. And it's because of you guys as well, the listeners. But I'm gonna leave here, leave it at this. I want you to know right now, what is that one thing that you need to change right now and do it now.